सब्सक्राइब कीजिए नेहरा क्लासेस यूट्यूब चैनल को और बेल आइकन को दबाइए हमारे लेटेस्ट वीडियोस के नोटिफिकेशंस पाने के लिए।
Hi guys, once again welcome back to our Nehra classes YouTube channel, and I'm your friend Vikas Nehra this side. Friends, in today's tutorial we will study the configuration of Puppet Master and Puppet Client in our Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7 or 8 servers. So before proceeding further, let me give the brief introduction of Puppet, what is Puppet and why we use it in our organization. So Puppet is basically used for the automation purpose in any organization, and it is a open source system management tool. So Puppet is an open source system management tool, as I have told you, which is used for centralizing and automating the configuration management process. It is basically used to configure, manage and deploy the various applications and services across the whole infrastructure in any organization. Puppet is designed to manage the configuration of Linux and Windows based systems, and it is written in Ruby, and it uses unique domain specific language to describe the system configuration. So to use Puppet, we should have a master server in our organization, and there should be Puppet clients who can connect to this master server for various automation processes. So you can see, as I have shown you in the picture, there is a Puppet master server which can utilize various modules, and this Puppet master is directly connected to several Puppet clients, and with the help of this we can deploy the application, we can install the packages on the client machines from the Puppet master, we can manage the services, we can automate several processes. So it is not only helping us in the Linux administration, but also it is making our tasks very easy. So let's proceed towards the installation and configuration of Puppet master and Puppet client in our machine. So I have two machines, both are running on RHEL 7.7, and this is my Puppet master server on which I'm going to make the configuration of Puppet master, and this one I'm going to use as Puppet client. In order to show you the process, there should be at least one Puppet client, so I'm going to use this as Puppet client. The IP address of my Puppet client is going to be 192.168.1.116, and the IP address of my Puppet master will be 192.168.1.115. So first of all, we will log in the machine as the root user, and we have to ensure that our machine is directly connected to the internet. After that, to make the Puppet server configuration in our machine, we must have to stop the firewall service. But if you are going to configure it in any organization, I will never recommend you to use this process, since I'm going to use it in my private network or in any small network. So in that scenario we can stop the firewall. So I have stopped the firewall on the master server. Now you have to rename your host as the Puppet. You have to set the host name as Puppet. Since I have already set my host name, so there is no need to do that. I have already configured the hostname as Puppet in my machine. In the next step, we need to download the Puppet noarch RPM file, which will create the repo file in my system, and with the help of this we can download the packages in our server. So what this command will do, this command will download and create a repo file in my server. Now we need to install the Puppet server package. So I can use puppet yum install -y puppet server command. So you can see that the packages are going to be installed in my machine. It can take some time depending upon the speed of your internet connection. So I will pause the video. You can see that we have successfully installed the Puppet server packages in our machine. Now in the next step, we need to edit the configuration file of the server. You can use your favorite file editor for that, and here you need to change the memory size, that is currently of 2 GB. I'm going to change it and make it as 512 MB, because sometimes if you keep it 2 GB, it gives warning and can cause problems in the Puppet. So what we have done, we have just changed the size to 512 MB and saved the file. Now we need to start the Puppet server. So for that we can use systemctl start command. Systemctl start Puppet server, and this command can take some time when you first time start this service. After this, you need to enable this service so that it can start at its own if your machine gets rebooted. So Puppet service has started up, and it took almost 2 minutes in my case. Now we will enable it. If you get this created symbolic link message, then it means till now you are good to go. You have not made any mistake. Now in the next step, we can verify the status of the Puppet server service. Yes, the service is up and running. We are good to go. Now let's go to the client, and there you first need to set the host name as client, because it would be easy for you. So I have already set the host name, so I'm not going to run this command, but you should run in your case. Now edit the hosts file, and there make an entry of your master server. You need to mention the IP address of your master server here and the host name, and save the changes. Now in the next step, you can download the RPM file which will create the repo file in your server. So I have already created the repo file using this RPM, so I'm not going to run this. After that, you need to install the Puppet agent on your client machine. I have already installed it, so it is showing it as already installed. I have already saved it and installed it so that we can save the time in the video. And you can check the connectivity with the help of telnet if you want. Now in the next step, we need to start the Puppet agent service using the below command, and this command will send a certificate to the master to get it signed by the master. So you will use only this command to start the Puppet agent service. So this command will generate a certificate, and that certificate will go to the master server, and there it will ask the master to get it signed. Now we need to go to the master server of the Puppet, and we need to check whether we have received the certificate or not. So for that, we can run the certificate list command, and it should show us the certificate which we have received from the client side just now. So you can see that we have received one certificate here. Now we need to sign this certificate, otherwise our master and client will not work. So in order to sign the certificate on the master side, we need to run certificate sign client command. So you will run /opt puppet set sign client. Press enter. This command will this certificate, and again certificate. Run the list command to check if any pending certificate is there or not. So it should not show us any certificate now. Yes. Now if you want to list all the certificates, means which we have signed from the master side or the pending, so all certificates will be listed by using certificate list -all command. This command will print the details of all the certificates which we have received in our master server. Now in the next step, we can create a file to check and test the master puppet configuration. So I'm going to use the touch command for that, and this will create a file inside etc puppet labs code environments production manifests with the name as sample.pp. So we have successfully created the file. Now we will go to the client side, and there we will check and pull this test file which we have created on the master. So for that I'm going to run the opt puppet labs bin puppet agent -- test command. If everything goes okay here, then we can proceed further. Yes, now we can proceed further. So on the master side, to check the configuration, to test the file, we can set any action that needs to be performed on the client. For example, if I want to install any package on the client from the master side using the puppet, so I can give that command or I can write any script. So here I am going to edit this test file which I have created just now with the help of VI editor on the master side, and there I'm going to write a script. This script will ask the client to install the sttpd package in it. Don't worry about the commands and the script. I will provide you each and everything in the description of the video. Now save it, and let's move to the client server and again pull the request. Let's go to the client side and pull the request. So this time it will take some more time as compared to the last time, since we have mentioned some work in the script which needs to be done on the client machine. So in this way, actually I have disabled the yum repository, that is why it is showing the error. So let me enable it first, and again we will run the same command, etc yum.repos.d. So here I need to enable it and save it, and let me mount the DVD so that the packages can be installed. Now again run the same command which will pull the request from the master. This time it will install the packages from the repository, and it can take some time depending upon the speed and capacity of your machine. It is taking some time, so we can wait. So you can see that the script has run successfully and the task which we have mentioned, that has been done. So in this way we can configure the Puppet master and the client, and we can automate anything. We can manage the services, we can install the packages using Puppet. So guys, in this way we can install and configure Puppet master as well as Puppet client in our Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7 in any organization. And we can automate, configure, manage and deploy the applications and the services in the whole infrastructure of any organization by using Puppet. I hope you guys will find this video useful for you, and if you like it, then do share it with your friends and colleagues. And if you are new on our channel, then do not forget to press the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification. I will see you guys in any other session. Till then, bye bye, Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, and be safe from this coronavirus.